Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I met my friends last weekend. It was great. I met up with my ENFJ friend, my INFJ friend, my ISFJ friend, um, all of the FE users, um, and they're my closest friends. And um, we had a great time. We talked about deep topics. Um, I'm pretty happy about all that. Stayed over at my INFJ friend's house. I always get a little bit tired after having been with my INFJ friend because the discussions are very deep and often I don't want to go that deep psychologically. It's like you're tearing yourself apart every time. Going deep into your psyche is a little bit scary, if there's somebody else there, it can trigger a lot of feelings, like shame or frustration or not always very positive feelings. Sometimes it's very joyful, but sometimes it's a little bit disconcerting. And so it does take a lot of energy out of me, even though I love it. It's also kind of vulnerable, but it was awesome. We ate at the Chinese restaurant and ate at the hot pot place and tried new things. And we ate at the cafe. We talked about different things. But we talked, among all things, about things that make us a little bit insecure, which is our inferior function. My INFJ friend is scared of hurting people. That's what, one of his biggest fears. For me, one of my biggest fears is disappointing people, rather. And it's weird, isn't it? Because you'd think an FE user would be more scared of disappointing people, right? Just if you think very superficially. And you'd think that the INFP would be very scared of hurting people since feelings is their first function, right? But when you look more into it, then it doesn't, it actually makes sense. I think that we have a very interesting set of functions that is kind of complementary in a strange way, because we have the same, my polar function, my SE, is his inferior function, and vice versa. So we have the same slot problem, where it's like his SE is my TE and his T is my SE, and so that's where our problems are. We both suck at SE and TE, so it's like we're unsuited for reality. But your inferior function is still conscious. It's just that you're over aware of it because it's like a problem, Well, you're not aware of the polar function, which actually is also kind of affecting your life. If you believe in the 8 function theory, which I'm a little bit skeptical, my INFJ friend believes, he has studied socionics. Anyway, my INFJ was talking about how SE makes him scared of being too forceful. Because he can see all of the domino pieces, he can see all of the chess board. He knows what to flick in order to do what. And so he has a remarkable control about the situation. that like I'm just going into the situation quite blindly, because I don't have SE, so I don't see what's going on. I don't have NI, so I can't predict what's going on. So I just have to wing it all the time. But as an INFJ, you can see the situation quite well. And so a lot of it is like what your action is going to be determines how the situation will play out. And like I never really experienced that control. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just going to smuggle myself around, I'll just like squeeze into the cracks and like be invisible and just pass through the situation. But SE makes you like actually want to do an impact on the world, or it gives you the power to impact things. It's physical. So my INFJ friend is worried about unintentionally being too forceful and so therefore hurting people. And I think that's INFPs can have that fear too. I mean, TE is also kind of a forceful function, so we don't want to be a TE person, that's always bossing people around and being too aggressive. But SE is like, taking space. Well, it's a very subtle difference, but I'm not worried that I'll be too forceful. Like, it's not a worry that comes very often for me, I'll sometimes blurt out stuff with my TE that makes people uncomfortable, but it's like, it's not my primary problem, My primary problem is that I'm worried that I'm not effective enough, that I'm not TE enough, I'm not good enough, and so I will disappoint everybody, Expectations have been placed on me through different ways. I mean, my job, my place in the family, that kind of thing. The system, a lot of INFPs are about like the system is against me, and like this constant battle against the system. Like, are you in the system or outside of the system? There's a lot of that problem with having inferior TE. INFJs, like, they don't consider the system. I mean, they know that they're not a cog in the machine. They're their own individuals outside of the system. They don't feel like the constant battle to have to be against the system, Instead, it's more like they have to learn to seize opportunities and be forceful, but then like they're worried about being too forceful. So they're worried that they're going to hurt people by being too forceful. Well, I think INFPs are more worried about hurting people because it will disappoint people, if you hurt them. Like you're being, it's not that you're being too forceful, it's that you're being, that's other people expected more from you, you expected more from yourself. There is a perfectionistic streak that goes in INFPs. It's very different from the INFJ perfectionism, but it is there. It is a lot of pressure to have to be an INFP in a world of ESTJs, and a lot of people expect a lot of stuff, and I think that INFPs, we do feel the expectation a lot on us. A lot of INFPs have social anxiety, and we're worried about how people will perceive us. It's not that we are in tune with the, like, we're not like super interested in the social dynamics of everything, but we do see that like people, we are interested in how people perceive us because we don't know how people perceive us, and we think that if we had more TE, we would manage better in the world, you know. But we don't like that. We don't like it that it's that way because we value FI so much. INFJs, on the other hand, I mean, they have SE, and like they wish that they could be in the moments. They wish that they could take place and like be the change that they want to see in the world. But they're a little bit scared of it because with NI you can see all the consequences of everything that you do. And so basically what my INFJ friend said was quite a nice metaphor, actually. It was like it's like being blowing a leaf in the water on like you're just gently pushing the leaf to go this way or that. You're not like actively putting the leaf on the right track. You're just like gently. That's why I think that a lot of the times you could call it manipulation, because it is a little bit like you're pushing it a little bit to the side, you're nudging it very gently, you know, so that it gets onto the right course. But so they're worried about like, or it's like gives them a lot of anxiety to like go and do that. So it's very similar, but it's a slightly different flavor. Because like INFPs are also scared of doing stuff in the real world that's like too aggressive, it's too cold and doesn't, and conformist, you know, it's hard to deal with outside world, you know. We'd rather not deal with it. And so we are very, very gentle in our way. But it's just that it manifests in different ways, and I just find it very interesting. So tell me what you guys think. I know that there are a lot of INFJs out there in the comments, so I'm interested in what you have to say. I'm not saying that this is a really good way to distinguish one from the other, but I think it's an interesting, subtle difference. So yeah, have a great day, everybody. Bye.